A little bigger. I haven't done. I wanted to do some decorative stuff. I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Wanted to make it a little deeper because we were like right close to the ceiling, and just made it a little nicer. A little
right. Here we go.
All right. I got 8 million things going on. Screen view there. Get onto the YouTubes, as my friend Corey would call it, which is.
It is strange. Could you share the link out?
Yep.
To places. Actually, I do. I was gonna try not to have to pause it, but I gotta throw it out on the Twitter too. The Twitter machine.
What is going on? There it goes. Okay.
Okay. When people pop in, are they going to pop in over there still?
I don't know why everything has gone crazy on me on Facebook here.
Okay. Well, there you go. We're still going to be doing the happy hour thing. I think we're doing a bike ride, Greg, but I'll make sure we're back, and if we're not going to be back in time, then maybe move it to 4 or something like that. Or you guys can just do.
Well, I gotta let Seven Bates know what time, so make sure you clarify for me.
Yeah, I'll find out right after this.
And I don't know why, but it's not letting me post.
I'll show make it work.
The link into the group test. All right, I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, dude. We should have started 10 minutes ago.
That is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah. Good morning, Sherry. Nice to see you in the thread this morning. Good morning, Jareen. Nice to see you as well. Of course, you guys are welcome to get ye some Minecraft Java Edition and join us actually in the church. That'd be cool.
It would be cool. You said you made signs already?
Yes, and I'm doing 5 things at once. So
hey, how about I just cool my jets? In totally unrelated news, apparently Donald Glover just dropped a new collection of music that is streaming live from his website.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be one Childish Gambino.
It would be Childish Gambino.
Yep. He's a pretty amazing dude.
That is a fact.
All right. I see. I don't know. Is he? I don't keep up on pop culture stuff. Is he Danny Glover's son?
I don't think so, because I think I checked way back in the day, but I don't really know. I just noticed you have the. So if you don't put this ring on the top here, does the smoke like go everywhere or no?
I actually, yes, it will spread across the ceiling if you don't put some sort of
interesting
chimney
like a
type
catch or whatever. Yeah,
that's why I wanted to be taller than 2, because if I did that in the other end of the room, it would actually be up through the ground and out into the world. So part of the reason I wanted to dig it out was for that.
All right.
So yeah, okay. So and I'll post this on my timeline. So it is in the church, the gratitude group. It is on the So Local Live page, and it is now on my personal page as well.
Good morning, Chet, Andrew, and Sherry.
Oh, everything just went nuts. Last time that happened, that was me. So let me. Yeah, this Avid Mbox thing is a little finicky with Windows. Hang on, I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, we'll be heading out into the cathedral pretty soon. Obviously, if you have any gratitudes, no, not if you have any gratitudes. Write something that you're grateful for down in the comments, and we'll put it up. This should absolutely be about participation. I don't care if you're grateful for your dog. I don't care if you're grateful for the fact that the sun's coming up this morning. Doesn't matter. Write at least one thing down that you're grateful for, and I'm going to put it up on the things. One thing I'm grateful for, and this is again, because there's no wrong answers to this. But I had a very sort of interesting and real reaction to this when it happened. Thank you, Smitty. It's weird calling you Smitty instead of like all the other names I have.
It's such an old nickname that
that's fine. I'll get over it.
Hear it coming back around. Morning, chat.
So I think it was Sue Gentry who said, okay, we're all going to be stuck in our house together. Let's do one of these, silly Facebook things where, you put at and, lists out the first 4 contacts in Facebook or whatever, based on some, nefarious algorithm, I'm sure. But and this is who you would be locked in with for the entire, social distancing is a shitty term. I think we should come up with a different one, but get the idea, right? And I actually came up with Chet, and I was like, just fundamentally not upset about that. I would probably come out about 9 times smarter and more read than when we went in. So that's pretty funny.
Okay, Sherry. Yeah, when we get out into the cathedral, we'll put that one up for you for sure. She says she's grateful for the friends that live in my computer during social distancing. There you go.
Yeah. I basically I flipped the script on hey, if you have any gratitudes to everyone, write down a freaking gratitude and do it right now.
Nice. Okay.
So they are being super awesome about it and actually doing that. Yeah. I mean, this is the practice. I remember doing that for goals and gratitude too. Like, if you don't want to write something you're grateful for down, even if it's your dog, take a long, serious look at why not.
Right.
Right. Anyway,
coffee's a cop out gratitude.
But honestly, like, how many times did I use it? Like 100?
Yeah, we both did.
I used it a lot.
But I think that part of the gratitude practice is working to identify things you're grateful for. Like, it's not always easy.
Right.
It's not always easy. That's sort of the point.
Yeah, it's a muscle you're working out that if it's left atrophied, I mean, you got to do whatever you can do, and you got to start wherever you can start. It could be the biggest thing you can think of, or if you're just having trouble, then just to come up with something small.
There you go. Good morning, Michelle Freeman. I think that may be Michelle's first time joining us in the comments. Another person that is busy being a helper, looking for helpers, like we are right now. And I was thinking that. Is this going to be sort of a shelter situation? Can we talk about what's happening in the world without talking about politics? And the answer is this is the biggest thing that's happening in our lives right now. It'd be crazy if we weren't going to talk a little bit about what it means and how we're coping. So, yeah, I mean, reason being the reason, we should talk about reasonable approaches and information and, some maybe a little healthy skepticism, but not too much. Let's, I have no problem with us exploring that a bit today. So,
yeah, I'm with you. So what's going to happen is when it's nighttime out in the cathedral, we'll head out there. I just found out that nighttime in Minecraft lasts for 7 minutes. So for about 5 minutes, we're going to put up all your gratitudes, and then we're all going to coalesce in the on the balcony. Now, granted, this is going to be a lot easier because I think it's only going to be the 3 of us. I think I saw Donna enter the game. We probably won't have Jenner just randomly destroying shit and then freaking out. Wow, his reaction should almost be a clip because I think we were on a roll doing some kind of like super profound shit, and then our new friend Jenner just literally lost his shit. It was awesome. But we did come up with, in a moment of perfect kismet, a perfect name for the railing. So that's fun.
Okay, Donna needs a teleport. Bear with me here.
All right, yeah. I think we still got some daylight hours, so you're good. All righty then.
Donna. I don't see you in the game. Oh, there you are. Okay, I got you. Oh, well, you don't need a teleport then. We're in the cave. Yeah. She'll be here in a minute.
Like
she's right outside. So
all the things. It's like I think it was the last coffee we did or whatever. Somebody asked a question, and I just started just randomly talking about how many extra weeks of food you need to buy, just kind of as a matter of fact thing, and then just really was like, wow, I just said all that like it's normal.
Right.
And the number of times we say things in here that are just completely normal, but if you take them out of context, like we sound like crazy people.
Yeah.
That's about on the line where I want to live.
I'm kind of used to feeling like crazy people. So
this is true. I can't argue with that. Hey, there's a cat down here. That's fun.
Cool. Anybody that would say that is probably right.
Yeah, can't argue with that at all.
Okay, so let's see. I want to put some steps on here. See, I'm trying to like spruce the joint up. Haha. See, I'm using spruce wood. So
No.
sprucing the
Denied.
joint up, Corey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
No, it does look pretty good. Even with the pun, you animal.
Not so bad.
Thank you guys for writing some gratitudes down. And for the record, for Golden Gratitude, we would write 3 things down that we were grateful for every single morning. So if you wanted to do more,
because we're hardcore,
I wouldn't stop you. And we will have enough time to get them all in. Maybe Greg and Donna we'll just call out the ones that we're actually going to do so that we don't overlap.
Yep.
Because we're only going to have 5 minutes to get her done if we get out there right at nighttime, which isn't coming right now.
What's cool is the way I did this now. You can see all the way from that long hallway that goes.
Oh, yeah. That's so much better.
It's a straight line. And I kind of planned it that way. Like I built that
way
out there. Yeah. I wanted this to be on a line.
I dig that kind of stuff. Just for those of you that don't know, we've actually set up an underground portal network that lets you go very, very long distances in a very short period of time in our civilization, our Minecraftian civilization, which is pretty fun. Sue just said, can we do more than one? Yeah. So the lag, apparently Sue and I were thinking exactly the same thing at around exactly the same time. So yes, everyone is more than welcome and very deeply, encouraged to do more than one.
Yeah. That's a big deal. Like, housing is kind of frightening time for housing issues right now. Oh, I didn't realize I had a whole bunch of stone in this other chest I put up here
like you do.
Anyway, I knew I'd put stuff aside somewhere that I dug out of here, but I didn't remember where. And apparently, I just built another chest up here in the hallway. By the way, if you haven't seen it, the library that let me start again. The limited information library for countries that have banished or banned the writings of certain people that was built in a Minecraft server is freaking amazing, and there is a link to it in our gratitude or in our cathedral group. Although there's only 6 members in that group, and I think there's some of these folks that ought to be in there with us, don't you? Like, I think Sue should be in there.
Yeah,
I
absolutely
should be in there. I think Mitch should be in there.
We've been doing all the posts for that, but I think I have to completely change what I was doing for the challenge. So maybe we could adapt some things to be some in-house self-care kind of things and
right.
I mean, maybe I should start Golden Gratitude back up for this.
I don't know. Is there anybody in the comments that hasn't been in here before? I'm not sure that Michelle has been here with us live for one of these, but essentially, Michelle, this cave kind of represents the origins of the idea for the server, although the real origin for the idea for this was Bob Benson. But from such caves and pools as these, we come seeking peace, wisdom, and enlightenment. And we built a gratitude shrine, and then it turned into a gratitude cathedral that got bombed almost to destruction by some asshole before we could figure out how to limit people on the server. And we rebuilt it, and it's bigger than ever. And we're going to go out there in a couple minutes and show that off because it's beautiful. So yeah, welcome to the Origin Cave. It's too bright in here, though, isn't it, for an Origin Cave? Since we don't have monsters anymore in here.
I don't think so.
I kind of do. See, I think that's more with the mysterious glow under the water and the
Okay,
it's just me.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Donna, if you can maybe ask her, I just was wondering if somebody could track the
I kind of got an eyeball on it, so we're good.
Yeah, the dusk. It's already 10:14. I have a sneaking suspicion we must come in halfway through nighttime or something.
Yeah, it looks that way. And that's okay. We can hang out in here.
I'm cool with it.
I mean, there's a campfire. There's stone benches.
There is.
Which are a little hard on the butt, but
let's just say you can't sit, but
yeah, there you go. I'm sitting on the bench now. There we go.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Is that working? I don't know.
Not really. Kind of looks like you're trying to poop on it, but that's fine.
I am, for the record, not pooping on the bench. So yeah, there you go. That's what we're about today, Michelle. I'm grateful for the computer access so we can continue to communicate, uplift, and support others. And we're gonna, that's funny because that's kind of what we've been doing for a few years now, and this feels like a natural extension of where Corey's and my efforts have been. I made an outreach last night on behalf of some friends, and I'll talk about that a little later during the service. But one of our people that joins us for our conversations every day donated $100 to that local charity overnight, and that definitely put a tear in my eye. Sometimes I forget, and I don't mean the Minecraft server. I mean this whole idea of local activism on podcasts and live broadcasts. I forget sometimes why I built this, and then something like this happens, and I'm reminded that this is exactly why I built it. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Long and tan and tall and lovely, the girl for me, Ipanema goes walking.
What is happening?
I'm just singing because that's how we're kind of in a
Right,
pause.
you are supposed to sing. Oh, right, "Dusk is Upon Us" from the great laugh track herself.
This sounds ominous, though.
It does sound ominous. "Dusk is Upon Us."
All right, here we go.
All right,
into the cathedral.
Welcome to the cathedral.
I love how lava drips through the roof here in the hallway.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Kind of mysterious and cool. All right, we got some gratitude signs saying, is that what we're doing while we wait for
hell yeah, that's the whole game.
Let me scroll back up and get a few on here. Let's see. Man, look at all this gratitude.
Damn, Daniel.
It's like a thing with lots of gratitude.
All right, since I'm going to start at the bottom, if that's okay. Just because I don't want to turn that off and scroll it down. So Michelle Freeman, you guys love the gratitude aspect. Okay, so it's not that one, but I know you have some up, so I'll get to that. Sue Gentry, I got hers.
Great, Sherry B. Grateful for friends in my computer. Right now, I'm not gonna I can't put all that in there. So
yeah, I'm just editing everything down.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to trust us, or and hear me out. You could join our Minecraft server and put signs up yourself.
All of that is a thing you could do.
Yeah.
All right, I got Sue's last one down there done,
and I got Jareen next. Grateful to stock up and be able to be home for a while. Maybe that's going to fit. Yeah. There we go. Jareen, yours is up. These are both on the front, on the oceanside wall over here at the bottom right, if you want to go look at them. Oh, wait, you can't because you're not in the game. So Corey will have to show them to you later if we get to that. I got Michelle Freeman covered here. Let's see. Let's do that one.
All right.
Here.
I'm going to edit this out a little bit so I can get Michelle's name on here. Oh, for crying out loud.
Grateful for everyone I love. Right?
That's not horrible at all.
Yeah. I think I might be on that list. I'm just saying.
Oh, look at you. Okay.
There you go, Michelle. Yours is put on the front wall here. And again, Corey will have to show you those. Where are you at? What are you?
I am about to do Jareen's close to the bottom.
About the house?
No.
Okay, Jareen's got more than one today. Thank you very much.
She's not fucking around.
Grateful for the offer on the Missoula house. Is that Missoula, Montana? Oh, that is a place I really want to go and see. I want to see that part of the United States. I have never been there. And I know about it from reading literature about fly fishing. That's how I know about Missoula and Jimmy Buffett songs.
You're a hilarious kind of nerd. I gotta say.
I actually one time one of my exes was very, very smart in a book sense sort of way, and she used to regularly kick my ass on Jeopardy. And one day when we were watching Jeopardy and sort of playing against each other, the category was literature, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to kick your ass right now." And it was an Isaac Walton question, and he wrote the first ever literature work about fishing, about angling, called The Complete Angler. And I knew that answer, and she did not. So, anyway, yeah, I'm a hilarious kind of nerd. All right, we're gonna need more. We're gonna start filling in the back sides and the side sides.
Yeah, hell yeah, that was always the idea.
Nice.
In about 1 or 2 minutes, we're gonna have to head over to the balcony here.
Mm-hmm.
So we can always come back down and finish up if anyone's got.
All right, I think we might have got them all here. Let's see.
I did.
Did you?
I did. My last one going upwards was Sue talking about her sister.
Okay, I'm gonna get Chet then. Yeah, grateful that some countries are having success fighting the virus.
Is that it?
I got it.
Okay, that was the last one.
Putting that one on the side over here.
Right, cool. And if we missed any, just let us know and we'll do it when we're done. So this would be the spot last week, when our new friend Jenner, who was set, when you get in games, sometimes you're set in creative mode where if you just touch something, it automatically destroys it. And so he destroyed part of the railing and lost his mind. And it's really because he's totally digs this and was mortified. Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna get Sue's grateful for friends that check in when times are tough.
Awesome.
And I'm putting all of these on this front left corner if you want to show them.
Yeah, just fill them up. I actually went up to the balcony already. Sorry, I thought we were done.
Sue F. There we go. Done. I think that's all of them. Look at that.
Yeah, Dream, you're not allowed to apologize for doing 3. That was the whole idea.
Yeah, no.
I want you guys to do as many as you want to do.
It's no pain, no gain. If you have to think about it and you have to work at it, you know what? That's a good thing.
Yeah, it really
helps you find gratitude naturally. You know,
and really, even for us, as far as putting them up there, I mean, it putting gratitudes up on this wall never gets old. It just doesn't.
Oh, Jareen, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Jareen, a river runs through it. The movie was filmed near Livingston on the Yellowstone River rather than the Blackfoot outside of Missoula because the Blackfoot was too contaminated. Yeah, that's the book. And I read the book long before the movie came out. It's an extraordinarily cool story and a great movie. If you've never seen it, A River Runs Through It is breathtaking. If I'm not mistaken, it was one of Robert Redford's first films as a producer.
Hey,
right? Yes.
Moment of silence.
Okay.
So thanks for joining us this morning. We're all starting to face a bunch of things in a mad rush that we've never really had to deal with before. The global news is pretty crazy. Local news is starting to get crazy, and looks to be very likely to get a lot worse before it gets better. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't remember a time when everyone in the country was basically strongly suggested, and intelligently so, to stay in your house. So what Greg and I wanted to focus on today, I mean, obviously here in this place, we want to focus on the positive. There is never a moment where we can't practice gratitude if we feel like we should or feel like we want to. We will have a lot of time to do it potentially, so that's fun. We would definitely love to invite you to the Church of Reason Facebook group, where I think, I would love to see us sharing any positive ideas and suggestions that we can as a community. What part of the idea around, the Church of Reason is to copy what works in organized religion, right? And I think two huge parts of that are community and fellowship. Like, it's one thing to be in a community; it's quite another to intentionally be in fellowship with each other. I think it's kind of the thing that especially hanging out with Greg and the rest of you guys, like, I sort of just automatically expect to see a disproportionate number of helpers in the little family that we've accrued. And I'm really grateful for that. Really grateful for that. So look out for the helpers, and obviously be the helpers, because you're going to inspire other people to do the same. Sharing ideas about how countries that are now the hardest hit are dealing with this, I think is very much in line with that. Helping people to understand that this is a serious, big deal seems like something that we still have to do. Yeah. And, fucking science and shit.
Yeah, I thought, when we had our chat earlier, we what came to my mind is, this is a place where we can talk about the ways we're keeping ourselves safe, and we can, like, I'm getting gaslit for wanting us to be safe. You know what I mean? People are actually ridiculing those of us that are saying this is serious and we should take it seriously. And I struggle with this. Like, I've put on two faces. The one face is the reassuring face that doesn't want to scare anybody, because scared people make dumb decisions, right? But the other face is the sobering assessment of what's happening here is, we are probably going to have a really rough time. And I'm trying to smile through that while I say it, but economically, aside from how many people might get sick and die, economically, watching things, big things get shut down. We live in Central Florida. Disney World is a massive employer. SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, massive employers. Local festivals are being canceled. Concert tours are being canceled. Plays and social events are being canceled. And all of the people that are, whose jobs depend on those things are not getting an income. And I'm not, we're not hearing a huge good plan from the president, certainly to curb all that or to help with all that. I think we need to be sober in our assessment, but I also think that one of the things that makes me feel better is when I'm actively trying to help other people. And I had a great conversation with my friend Kira Withers last night. Kira and Randy are the Hands of the Goddess charity. They've decided to do all of their homeless outreach in the month, maybe in the next 2 months, by themselves. They don't want to risk any other volunteers' health by going out to take care of our homeless friends and neighbors. So they've made some decisions about just doing it themselves and not including other people, which is like heartbreaking, but important that they would see it that way, that they need to preserve the health and safety of their own volunteers as well as their own health, right? They're changing the way that they give. When they do a homeless outreach, they put stuff out on tables and hand people empty bags and backpacks to let them fill and choose for themselves. Because one of the things the homeless need is agency and choice in little tiny decisions, because they don't have much agency and choice in bigger decisions about their situation. but they've had to change how they do that, to putting it out on tarps and putting bags out, pre-filled bags out for people. So there's not a lot of handling of material and sanitizing necessary, because it's hard work what they do. And I was just really struck by that Kira had already decided that they had to change the way that they serve and give to make sure that they're safe, so they can continue to be available to a community that needs help. Like rushing right in, in infecting yourself is probably not a good strategy. And that also shows me that I'm not the only person thinking this is a long-term problem. This is, everybody's talking about the schools are closed until April 1st. I have a feeling
it's going to get extended.
That's going to, a lot of these closures and problems are going to be extended and bigger than we want them to be.
Yep.
And this is all designed not to keep us from getting sick, but to flatten the curve of overwhelming our hospital system, which is a much more drastic consideration than just us getting sick. While I'm not excited about getting sick, and I'm in a high-risk category, several high-risk categories, I'm not even really worried about my safety here. I'm worried about a massive downturn for all Americans, especially since I don't feel like we completely recovered from the 2008 crisis. And this looks to be worse than the 2008 crisis. And I think that the outcome is potentially much worse than the 2008 economic crisis. So I'm just all full of happiness and good news this morning.
Yeah, man.
But
you're giving a Corey pep talk right now.
But that's not going to stop me from advocating from talking up, from making sure that the people I know who are out there risking their lives to help us be safe, are covered. My friend John Edwards is in the national health system in England, and he just came off a 15-hour shift yesterday. And he says, we just got a taste of what this is going to be like. It's the first of many. I want people like John to have as much comfort and safety as they can. And if that means me yelling at people not to go gather up at a bar in downtown Newport Richie, I'm going to fucking do it.
No, I think that's what people don't understand. I mean, that quote that I think is going to be famous before all of this is over, that everything you do before a pandemic is going to seem like overkill, and everything you do after will have seemed like it was terrifically insufficient. And I think that's just going to be true, right? Like we're seeing in, a microcosm, much quicker example of how people don't understand exponential curves at all. Human beings are linear thinkers. Right? If there's 2 cases today, there's going to be 2 cases tomorrow. Everything's fine. What are you worried about? It's the same reason people sleep on automation. Like what the numbers we're seeing right now, if that trend continues, and it only seems to be accelerating, right? Blah, blah, blah. We need UBI, that whole argument. It's the same thing happening now. More people are seeing it because more people, it's more immediate. And quite frankly, more life-threatening. And it really is that the hospitals getting floored. You look at the hospitals, like the news coming out of and the examples coming out of the hospitals in Italy, they're screaming at us to get our shit together.
Yeah.
And, the increasing the testing, which of course, hasn't happened yet, right? We got more promises. I have absolutely no confidence in this administration whatsoever. States are taking it upon themselves and have been allowed to do so, which is probably the hugest step. But yeah, I mean, quarantines are coming, like full on quarantines. And they're going to have to. And I guess, my whole take on this thing is like, some people are scared or whatever. I don't think they're scared enough. If people were scared enough, the quarantines would have started now. The airports would have literally shut down already. So, like everything that countries are forced to do once the hospitals are already packed, there is no rational reason why you wouldn't do it immediately.
Right.
Well,
and tomorrow, or either late this afternoon or tomorrow, Seven Bates, my very wise friend from out in California, is going to join us. He put up a beautiful little post the other morning about giving people who are scared a break. And I think that's a really important message, and I'm going to save it for him. And it may seem antithetical to you. I want to yell at people who are making dumb decisions, but his point is they're making dumb decisions because they're scared and they don't have good guidance. Right. And so we need to think about, why are they not getting good guidance, and how can we facilitate that? How can we be a voice that says, yeah, it's serious and you should stay the fuck home, without coming off like assholes, I mean, there were people that were angry that Chasco Fiesta was canceled here in Newport Richie this week. Well, let's pack 20, 30,000 people into all the bars and restaurants in downtown Newport Richie on a hot weekend, where the air conditioner is on and the doors are closed. because that puts at risk everybody in that place, including all the employees, all the people that work there, all their families.
And that's really the thing. Like everybody under 40, right? Because after 40 is when the curve starts to kind of get a little bit scarier as far as potential personal, terrible outcomes for people.
Right.
For anyone who's younger than that, like, this isn't about you. This is about your grandparents dying and everyone else's grandparents dying. Like that, I think the Yellow Jackets in France, I showed you this. Like, they wanted to protest they've been protesting the government for a long time. I sort of feel like they're like a little bit more of a worker oriented, but still pretty MAGA. They're out protesting the government's response to the virus by packing themselves 10,000 or more deep in a street. Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
Listen, but maybe, okay. So I think about why that might be happening. And I'm taking my mind back to 9/11. When we were told, continue life as usual, go shopping, don't be scared. And that was right address. And that was right advice in that moment. Because of that threat, that was the right advice. Continue. Keep calm and carry on, which has been, memed to death. Started in World War II. And it was something English business owners put on in their front windows and sidewalks. Basically, it's why the English responded differently to terrorist bombings, because they would just go out and sweep the glass off the sidewalk and open their damn store again. And in post 9/11, that was actually really good advice. That was the right thing for us to show, is our lack of fear. And I think maybe people are equating self distancing, social distancing, with fear, and it's not fear. It's safety. It's not. That's a different thing. Safety and fear are not necessarily related. And I'm keeping people safe. Well, my mom, for instance, who's 76, that's why I'm doing that. Not because I'm afraid of getting sick. I'm afraid of so many of us getting sick that more people are going to die. That's a different kind of thing. So maybe what's happening is people are trying to imprint the last big national cataclysm response onto this one. And they're telling themselves, I'm not scared. I'm going to continue living my life as usual, because that was the right message for the last emergency.
I wish that was true. Change. The real problem is that half the people in their news bubble, even now, are telling them it's the flu and it's not a big deal.
Okay. But I think the underlying,
I hope that's
underlying
true.
reason they're being dishonest with themselves about that isn't necessarily what they're being fed. It's that the only context they have for anything like this is 9/11. When all the air traffic dried up and crowds dried up, and the reason for that is very different from the reason now. So I don't know. I'm just.
I'm open to giving them that. Sue just said, "I like when things disrupt our daily routines. We all come out of it learning something about ourselves when we have to change to handle whatever is in our path." Sue Gentry, fucking Zen master.
Yep, absolutely.
That's legit.
Donna Van Meter, I love this server. I just wish there were more women here. Hint, hint.
Go get them.
Get Minecraft Java Edition and get on in here with us. Jareen, my in-laws popped by yesterday, told them we were distancing. They are going on vacation to Branson, Missouri for spring break. I'm worried for them. They're in an at-risk age group. They say it's like the flu. It's like the flu, except there's no vaccine and there won't be for a year. That's the problem with that line of thinking. We can all get vaccinated for the flu, although we don't all. Yeah. We can't get vaccinated for this. Grateful for all the little things. Thank you, Laurie Bersani. Nice to see you in here today. Sue, when I heard someone say that if what you're doing makes you feel silly, then you're doing it right, it calmed my anxiety about being too paranoid when I was prepping a little before the madness. Yeah, again, we're your gaslight shelter for a great many things, and I'm glad this is one of them. Let's give all people a break. Not angry, just inevitable. It's about keeping each other safe. Here. Sherry B, I'm not angry about Chasco. I know it was the right move, and I'm glad they made it. There is a slight level of disappointment, as it's something my family looks forward to. It feels strange not being there. And there's going to be a lot of disorientation and strangeness in how we feel about things. Although I got to tell you, yesterday when I was out driving around, I saw no lack of traffic on the roads in Pasco County yesterday. Yeah, I'm right with you. What Sue said, that's so cool about you. When we get disrupted, when our routine gets disrupted, we have to look at things differently. That's a help. Sherry B, I also think that people telling themselves that it's not a big deal is a self-preservation move in a way. It keeps them feeling safe. Like I said, though, the problem with that is they're not actually making themselves any safer in that way.
And this is the horrible thing. They might be, right? Like it might not affect them. It's just
Right.
it's not about that. The biggest risks are for, our elders, frankly, and packing hospitals up. Like those are the things that everyone needs to be thinking about. Go and look at what's going on in Italy, where they have people dying in the hallways because there just isn't enough beds. There's not enough ventilators. And they're having to make triage care decisions that are horrendous because they don't have enough stuff, right? Everyone's all worried about universal healthcare because, like, oh my God, what if it runs out? It doesn't matter now. There's not going to be enough anyway. And the more you leave all these things treated, the more it's going to happen. So when you go to the hospital to get your appendix out, or if you have a car accident, you'll die on the street, right? Like, if you need to think about this selfishly, think about it that way.
Yeah. Let me make an observation about one of the positive outcomes of Medicare for All is if it's all of us and it's our tax money, then we would be able to say, hey, we need more ventilators in hospitals for the next pandemic, right? We would be driving the process, not a board of directors or stockholders from some hospital corporation. We would have input into what we think our healthcare system needs in a way that we don't currently. So there's that to think about. The difference between public health and clinical health, right?
Yeah. That like doing that as a collective is it can be a powerful thing.
Yep. Michelle Freeman, Sue Gentry, that's an excellent assessment and completely true. Keep what works for you personally and leave the rest. This is about everyone's individual safety and well-being. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I was reading an article from the it's basically analyzing China's situation, and a lot of the things that they did came from their institutional memory of having dealt with SARS and MERS, right?
Right.
And so, I looking at potential silver linings with all of this stuff, this won't be the last time something like this happens. It's going to happen again. And I think we're going to have a lot better preparedness from the ground up, because now people are going to be able to see, like, depending on who's president, we might have a good response. We might have a complete non-response, and have them literally just gaslighting everyone, telling so I think that's actually going to end up being a good thing. And the sheer number of places all over the place, from Fast Company to AOC, talking about UBI suddenly, is and people talking about Medicare for All. And, I'm seeing threads where people are like, oh my God, Medicare for All would be so horrible because the hospitals would be packed. And then watching the threads just explode on those people because that is a ridiculous statement.
Yeah. If we're all under the same healthcare system, getting information out to individual healthcare, to people that access the system, would be simpler.
I'll tell you right now, the VA is way ahead of other hospitals.
Yeah.
For exactly this reason. Like, they already had a plan. And I don't, hearing from Babs what it's like, down here, and there will be some variation, I'm sure. But yeah, they started preparing very quickly once they realized what was coming.
I'm really disappointed. Pasco County's health department website hasn't updated since March 2nd. No updates on what we can do locally, what we need to be doing locally.
Honestly, that's criminal.
Yeah.
The number of people that will have died because of their lack of good information sending out is a number we're going to be able to calculate.
Yeah. I'm looking at the state website this morning, and they added another death, total of 4 in Florida. Not to be macabre, but the one case that I know of from someone that's personally connected to that person isn't on the list yet. So that means they're missing data. That they're not, is there some ambiguity about whether that person actually has COVID? These are things we need to know. Like the whole idea of, maybe it's too late to test everybody. Sure. But we're blind without testing. We're blind without knowing how big the potential for community spread is here.
Yeah.
That's worrisome.
I have some data on that we called this morning from South Korea. Okay. So I have been sort of going back and forth on this. Like, if we test at an absolute max, the way South Korea is doing, and honestly, they're not even doing it at a max, I kind of assumed that, the death rate is just going to go down because the number of people who are tested positive versus the number of people that die just becomes a lower number, right? Turns out that they're doing 20 times more testing and only half of, like, basically 10 times less death rate. So it's absolutely working because you can't do anything about it if you can't spot it.
Right.
So effectively, not testing is going to kill twice as many people.
Man.
If that played out, and there's no reason to think that it won't.
Or not even be able to fulfill the promise of the testing regime that was in place before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty confident that CDC had a good plan, but it's been defunded and deregulated and destaffed to the point where it's not even possible to implement that plan.
Yeah.
Whatever that plan was. So I have confidence that those experts, probably made a great plan, but this president took a giant crap on all of that. Sherry B said, who knew that when we said Yang was before his time, that time would be approximately 1 month?
Yeah, no shit. So this is something that's key. Jareen said, saw a news blip before in Tulsa right now. Glad I'm an hour away. You have to assume, Jareen, that it's literally everywhere around you. Because for the number of people that are getting tested, there's probably 100 times more people that would test positive if they were testing. And all of that is 2 weeks old. So, I mean, in Ohio, they took a look at what those numbers would mean. And they estimate that 100,000 people in Ohio were carrying the virus currently. And that was 4 days ago.
4 days ago, right.
Now it's probably 400,000.
Yeah.
Right. So like this is, and it's tough, right? Because I know we all sound like crazy people, but in a week we won't. And we're making decisions now. And again, like, it's not panic. Like, we're actually crunching numbers ourselves, Michelle and I, for exactly what we're going to do. And it always comes down to, if there's a 0.1% chance that you're going to get it and that you're going to die, or that you could give it to somebody else and they're going to die, then act accordingly. Right. So groups of 250 people is insane. Groups of 50 people is insane. Hashtag stay the fuck home. Staythefuckhome.com. Those are two things that are real, by the way. But it's legit, right? The more we take extreme measures on that path, the less amount of human suffering will ensue. And that's something that we need to take as a personal responsibility. And I know you guys are, but just like if there's 4 people an hour away, just assume that it's everywhere around you, because it probably is.
Yep. Sherry says, Hoboken, New Jersey, closing all bars and restaurants, issuing a citywide curfew. I think Teaneck, New Jersey did that last night.
Yeah, we're a week away from everyone.
Widen. I'm hoping our mayors, our county commissioners in Pasco County start recognizing that they're going to have to do this. It's going to be, the Chamber of Commerce is going to be mad at them. But Chamber of Commerce has been mad at me for years. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I point out problems in my county, and the Chamber of Commerce hates that shit because they live in a bubble. But it's unfortunately not a virus-proof bubble. So,
yeah.
Ohio governor also stated this morning that there is a good likelihood that their schools will be closed for the rest of the year. The massive economic impact of that cannot be understated. It's gonna
be nuts. Yeah, Chet said it seems like the 100K in Ohio was a high estimate. I'm not sure that I agree at all, but it's been criticized by their health professionals. Doesn't really change things either way. All we can do is best practices. So this is the thing that I like about what Ohio is doing. They took the potential spread by the number of people that were there and then times that by the time. Like, I think a lot of health professionals are also sleeping on that completely, right? So if they're getting criticism, see who it is and see how good they are on everything else.
Well, and again,
I'm just going to finish this talk. Greg. No, that's okay. And this is something Michelle and I were talking about this morning. You look at what's going on in France with people still protesting in the streets. You look at what they're doing in Italy. All the things that they're doing now is exactly what we should be doing right now. We shouldn't be waiting a week to close airports. We should have done it yesterday, right? We shouldn't be waiting to quarantine the whole country. We should have done it yesterday, because that pain is coming whether we like it or not now, right? So if you're going after the kind of numbers that might be a high estimate but might not, you fucking do that so people take it seriously.
Right.
Because honestly, next week we're all going to be in quarantine anyway, and it may be 2 weeks, right? But they're reacting on the back end of this thing still instead of the front end, which is going to mean more dead people. Like, that's going to happen now.
I'm thinking about the thing about healthcare workers and doctors, healthcare professionals, health professionals. maybe they're having the same thing that I talked about when I started talking, which is I have two faces that I'm putting on right now, my sober assessment face and my reassuring face, because I don't want to scare people. And I think some people are answering those questions. Well, you don't need to go crazy, because if I say to a health professional, oh, I'm quarantining my house and putting a flag out front and I'm going to shoot anybody that comes to my yard, as a health professional, you don't need to be so extreme in your response. And I know I'm using a hyperbolic example, but my point is, maybe people are panicky, and in health professionals want to reassure, so they're probably saying something along the lines of, it's serious, but you shouldn't panic about it. Somebody else takes that as, oh, my friend who's a doctor told me I don't have to worry.
That's like, no one should panic.
Yeah,
but everyone should look at the data and understand what's coming.
Yeah,
like everything that I'm seeing right now is suggesting that it's going to be worse than Italy, because we're not doing as much as they're doing now. It could, over the next week, we could get in front of it a little bit more because of the measures that have been taken compared to Italy, because Italy waited till their hospitals were full before they started quarantining, right? Which is obviously not what you want to do. But like, Seattle hasn't quarantined itself, and Seattle's hospitals are getting overrun right now, like in real time. So we'll just have to see. I probably should have titled this one Fire and Brimstone.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's do this. What are things that you can still do that are enjoyable and good for your soul and your mind and your heart?
You. Good pivot. Yeah, that's where, I think if I can get say 5 or 10 people that want me to start doing the goals and gratitude thing, maybe I just will, because that's sort of like
asking you to tell me what are some good things that you can do
that I can do. Well, that okay, I could maybe do that without asking if anyone else wants me to do it.
I meant in the context of for yourself.
That
in your world.
Same answer.
All right, I was looking for bike ride, Corey. Because you.
Oh well, yeah. No, here's the thing. Like there are
still things you can go out and do.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm worried about the bike ride, and today I think we're still going to do it, but it's probably gonna be the last one. Yeah, I mean
going
and again,
to a beach or a park where you're not crammed in with people and sitting out and taking some deep breaths and watching the sun.
Yeah.
Those are things we can still do.
Honestly, I don't think that sets the right example. And I know that's uncomfortable. But tracking the number of people that I will get 3 feet away from on a bike ride, dozens.
Right.
The number of people that I get 3 feet away from walking to do the sunrise in the morning is probably only 4 or 5 on sidewalks, but it's not 0. Right. So, I mean, again, like trying to go for the extreme positive example, like that whole stay the fuck home thing is legit. It just is. If you don't have to go out, you probably shouldn't. So that's why I'm thinking, like, things that are inside. We actually started looking at a bunch of dog training videos. And so
hey, Bob's here.
Bob Benson, tough buddy. So yeah, I mean, like doing some dog training with the dogs in the house is going to be really fun, but like sort of proactive and positive. I think we're going to be looking at some workouts. We started kind of eating crappy over the last few days just because, it's the end of the world as we know it. Fuck it.
Are you eating your hurricane snacks already?
No. Florida joke for the ages.
Yeah.
No. And we were still ordering from Grubhub, which I think we need to stop doing immediately. So yeah, like I would definitely love to invite everybody here into the Church of Reason thing, where we share every positive possible thing we possibly can. There's going to be enough places to get news. Now, granted, like I think making an exception for trying to help educate other people that this is a big deal is a thing. Like we've been sort of chatting about this morning, because yeah, I mean, like I've been doing this for 3 weeks now, right? Like 3 weeks ago, everyone thought I was completely insane except Greg, right? And including my wife. And a week later, Michelle's like, "Oh, hey, the VA is doing emergency meetings." Oh yeah, that's weird. Right? So people are coming around. Even my friend Arity down here was having that same reaction when I was talking to her. Ash Gallagher had that same reaction when I was talking to her. And I want to let everyone know, a month and a half ago, when my buddy Kurt, who created Chirp, was like freaking out about what's going on in China because he knows people there, I was in that camp too, right? Like I was like, okay, this is serious, but come on, is it that serious? So everybody kind of goes through that curve, and they get it when they get it. I think Bob just ran by. Hello, Bob. What's up?
Yep, there he is.
So yeah, it really is only a matter of time before everybody understands it. And the sad fact is that when the hospitals are overrun and they're freaking out and they're running out of gloves, which is what's happening in Seattle, is probably going to be when that happens, right? When one of your grandparents gets turned away from the hospital because there's no beds, it's
Right.
probably going to sink in. And so everything we can do in advance of that to help people understand what's going on, I think is going to be a
So here's a
worth the
place where
flack we get for it.
this never happens. Where Corey and I disagree, because in the thread now, there's some really good examples of things that you can be doing, right? Taking a picnic to the park and find space alone. Corey, you live 20 miles from one of the most vast, unpopulated wildernesses in America, and you and Babs should get in your car and go out there and walk 10 miles down a boardwalk, and just be out there.
Greg, how many people are you going to pass on that boardwalk?
You're not. Never mind. I know you're not. You're not getting what I'm saying. There are ways to be outside your house that are probably safe and good for your sanity. Other examples: sitting on your front porch,
sure,
music, singing, reading, play with children, pets, cook, sew, craft,
okay,
make love.
Honestly, all those things. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of those.
Garden, yard work, starting seeds, painting, cleaning. I'm just trying to find things we can do that are
love
not
all
necessarily us crammed in here, fixated on the internet. And I think it's probably safe for me to go sit out in my backyard for a little while today.
Well, your backyard is different than traveling somewhere to do it. Is all I'm saying. Like if you go to Starkey Park and see how many people you pass 3 feet away from, just go test it. I know that's uncomfortable.
No,
but
you've been to Starkey Park with me. You know that's not what I do. Like
I'm just saying, like getting there, right? Like it, and again, it's the example that we set, right? Like could you enforce that distance? Probably, right?
Yeah. If I'm conscious of it, of the need to keep it, then yes. And that's what I'm talking about.
Right. For me to walk to the beach, I have to walk on sidewalks.
Right.
The likelihood that I'll come 3 feet away from somebody is basically 100%. Right. Now, if we get out of the car and we, go and drive out to a park or something like that, right? I live in an apartment block or whatever. The likelihood that I will pass by somebody getting to my truck is about 35 to 45%. Right. Like that. Again, like I maintain that people are not worried enough because it's only a matter of time before everyone is mandatedly stuck in their house and you're not allowed to go out anywhere at all unless it's the pharmacy or the grocery store. So when I say we have to start copying what Italy is doing now, I mean that literally. I mean, we should have quarantined last week. We should have shut down the airports yesterday. Right. And so anything that parts from that, I'm going to be automatically skeptical of. Because we're going to be setting the wrong example. Now, everything that you can do in your house, and there's 18 million things that we can do. Those are the things we're going to have to start listing out.
So the baby boom that is coming is going to be huge. I think you're right.
Yeah, and yay for that.
Probably right. Although now with schools closed, the kids will be home. So
I mean, we did used to have to. Right? Didn't we used to have to make out like in caves where they were kind of around? Like, how that breakdown? Hey, you can play Xbox for a month now, right? Put these headphones on. Goodbye.
Have you heard of Minecraft, young person? All right. Anyway. Well, that got a little dark, and I clearly we're all struggling with our own level of concern about this. So,
and I think we'll figure it out. And these are the exact kind of conversations that I think we need to have. And if I end up getting proven wrong, I'll be more than happy to admit it. I just like looking at the things that worked in China. None of those had going out to the park listed.
Right.
However, I don't know if you notice this, but our Minecraft world is bitching.
It really is.
It's awesome.
Hey, there's Bob.
I mean, I guess that wasn't really a sex joke per se, but it was a sexual reference.
Oh shit! I just fell off the balcony again.
He's like, I've had enough of this. Ah!
Wait, what was the sex joke? What?
We didn't ordinarily. We make at least one sex joke every time that we're at church because I think that's really funny.
Yeah, I think we were coming to that.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
And show over.
Yep,
nailed it.
Yep. Yeah, I got the
Man.
thrust of that joke right away.
Oh Jesus. Oh man.
Oh man. All right. So we're ready to wrap this up, you think?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so.
baby.
Yeah. Hey Corey, are you building something somewhere? You said you had something else you're working on?
Yeah, I am building it due. So the sun comes up in the east. That would
Yeah.
be due south of here.
Okay.
It's actually in that block of land that we sort of marked out to sell.
Oh yeah, out by the
Back in the
out
day
by
when we
by the mesa. Cool. Oh,
Yeah.
did we lose you? There you are.
The Mesa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna go check that
Yep.
out.
So
I know what you kids are doing.
yeah, it's right now it's a tiny ball connected to a much larger ball. I am going to need lots of stuff from the engineer. Because there's no way that, because a lot of it, like I'm using white wool for the hydrogen,
Right.
and I don't want to kill that many sheep.
Oh yeah.
Although I guess I could do the whole shear thing. I just it's gonna be a long enough thing without
I've
having
also
to.
seen auto shearing sheep farms, which is kind of a cool thing.
Of course you
Of
have.
course.
Automated sheep farms. Yeah. Hey, in my other world that I started, I actually have a working slime farm now, which is not to be confused with Congress. They're a slime farm. Yeah, so I'm very proud of that. Can't do that here because we don't have mobs enabled. So
Right.
to do it somewhere else.
Yeah. Sue said grateful for my studio to make more pieces that I won't be able to sell to anyone. You might be able to. Be positive. I think you're right, Corey. Saw a report that around 3/23, March 23rd, if it gets as bad as Italy, the hospitals will start being inundated by that date. I think it's actually going to be. That's a week and a half ago. I think you're probably right. Michelle Freeman said free online courses, classes are available everywhere right now. Just do a search and keep those minds busy. Again, I would love to see everybody in the Church of Reason tell us what you're doing that is kind of the best part of your day. Presuming that we all get stuck in our houses, that would be a really cool thing to share.
Yeah, all sorts of one of the things that's happening is, and this is just generally a cool thing to think about, is that a lot of museums have now put virtual online presences up, so you can actually go to the museum without going to the museum. There's also the thing with concerts, operas and classical performances are being streamed online, so people don't have to go to the actual concert. The other thing I saw yesterday I thought was cool: if you have tickets to an event that got canceled, consider not asking for a refund if you can afford it, because orchestras, small theater groups, community theater groups, they need that revenue. They really need that revenue to survive, and asking for a refund is going to hurt them over time. So lots of things we can be doing, and that's really what I wanted to direct this to, is things that we are doing and can be doing to make it hurt less, and maybe be an example to other people who aren't good at finding those things. So some great ideas in here. Yes,
What you said.
Yeah.
All right.
Me.
I don't know if you guys can hear this, but Babs is like ripping some ska in the other room.
Nice.
Actually, I think it's punk. She's got a hilariously fantastic
I have a hard
taste
time
in music.
seeing her as a ska punk person.
I'm telling you, it's legit.
Nice. All right. Well, why don't you go do that? Oh yeah, I see your thing. I'm over here by your giant floating thing. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Hey, shout out for meditation, mindfulness exercise. Because
speaking of,
yeah, not
sun's
only
about to
can
come up.
we exercise the brain, mindfulness moment. It's life changing.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Bob is on a journey to not swearing anymore. I don't know how he's fucking doing that, but
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I've done one today.
okay.
One's a good number.
Virtual.
It must be tough to
sunrises.
be like, if you're working on not cursing and you fail and your instinct is to curse, that's got to be the worst loop ever.
Yeah. Well, I think I kind of chose this one this morning. I just basically said, what the blink is this? So I mindfully cussed one
Right.
today, and I will only do that.
Is frack available?
Yeah, Fraxaville.
Substitute
Nice.
words is a thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica cannot be wrong.
It's true.
I mean, the fourth season was a little bit wrong, but other than that,
I know you guys love that show. It's just not my favorite thing.
I mean, you still like The Expanse, so we can still be friends.
Right. Yeah, that I'm good with The Expanse for sure.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna run. I think Baz is out there like ruthlessly cleaning our house. I think I'll go help her, and then
Oh
we'll
my God.
go for what I think is going to be our last bike ride for a while.
Okay, for a while. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us in the Church of Reason this morning. We're back. Actually, we're going to try this afternoon if Corey's bike ride ends successfully. We're going to try and do another social distancing social hour, where we talk about strategies to keep ourselves sane. We want to invite people to join us in the feed for those too. So you can actually come on with us and talk about what you're doing and things like that there. So
yeah, I would love that. Also, I want to crowdsource. I would like all of you geniuses to start thinking of a better name than social distancing, because that's terrible. Because it isn't actually social distancing; it's physical distancing, and like even that's shitty.
Okay,
we're expanding our bubbles.
I guess
bubble talk. I don't know.
Even just like the I like the happy hour thing, and like I think that the social distancing term is just terrible. Right. I mean, I get why it exists. I think we could do better. I could be full of shit. I don't know. It's just where my head went. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see, guys. I think we're gonna be fine to plan it for then, Greg.
Okay, so we'll look at 3:00 and we'll be back on live. That's going to be on Facebook, not on YouTube. So that's what we want to do it there, because that's where there's a lot of people there, and we want to include as many of them as possible. So please join us for that. And then again tomorrow for So Local Pasco, hashtag coffee on the So Local Live Network. I don't know why that just happened. And we're going to do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to try and do the social happy hour thing maybe every day. So since we're going to be home, we'll do that.
And scene.
All right, love you guys.
What was our calling out, or what are we doing?
Stay the fuck home.
Stay the fuck home. Yeah. Well, that was for the happy hour, but what? Like I thought we had one for church that was different.
Did we have one for the church, Bob? Do you remember?
I don't. I get stuck on "She Blinded Me with Science," and then it just all goes down from there.
Fair enough. All right.
We should go back to the earlier video. Go back to the last video. Everything will be great.
Right.
We'll remember.
So 3 p.m. is the target time for the happy hour thing.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Love you guys.
All right.
Okay.